Okay, let's make things clear. Everyone was excited about the huge chance that XRP would hit 10,000 as early as the beginning of the year. Also, do you know, things are getting a lot more like that guess. Larry Frink from Blackrock is publicly in favor of this. Take a look at this. It's not just 10,000 per XRP. He's trying to say that it's a basic need. You're back at the place where you can learn everything about XRP. Before we get to the meat of the post for today, let's quickly catch up. To join our great group, just tap the like button, subscribe button, and bell button. Also, let me let you know, before we reach 60,000 members, we'll be giving away a lot of XRP. To join the giveaway is very simple. Okay, just do these 3 simple things. Take care and get ready to make sure you win the prize. After you post, don't forget to give MoneySide a code. Now it gets juicy. Think of big names in finance like Blackrock and Vanguard are now really thinking about how to use XRP to do business abroad. Things will get better. Don't worry. There are reports that Blackrock will put out ethos all about XRP. That was what you heard, right? But there's more. Lawrence Frink did more than that. He is taking a look at the 30 trillion real estate market. Can you guess what will happen to it? That's it. With XRP, everything can be turned into tokens. The International Swaps and Traders Association is also sending a huge $1.2 quadrillion through the XRP system and Ripple it. It's not just $10 per XRP. That's how kids have. Each XRP could become worth as much as 60 zalozen, which is a lot of money. Let's move on to the next part. Another big surprise came from BlackRock's Larry Frink. What he does is more than just talk. It's about to get really big for Ripple and its cryptocurrency XRP. Everything will be turned into tokens. And there's a clip in the next part of our movie that will hit people hard. The fact that BlackRock is moving toward an XRP ETF was revealed by Larry Frink. Let's not wait way longer. You are welcome to watch this now. One way we're making it legal and safer is by adding a Bitcoin ETF. Have you got another ETF? How about an XRP ETF? There's other out there. That's true. Could you answer that? I can't. Do you not want me to? Yes, I'm sorry, I can't. Okay, they're making fun of me. Recently, a lot of strange things have happened in the world of crypto, mostly with XRP. Take a look at this. Codes. As soon as XRP hit the world market, its value went through the roof and topped 43,000. This won't just happen once. This is another example of how the value of XRP is going up without notice. Remember how we talked about a $7 XRP bug at a big exchange last week? It looks like these quick price jumps for XRP happen all the time on different markets. Now it's crypto. Calm's turn. But let's move on to something else. Another thing I learned from studying a lot that is just as it's interesting, but it has nothing to do with BlackRock or the general rise in the price of XRP. We're going to talk about Gary Gendler, who took over as head of the SEC after Jake Clinton. As most of you may already know, Gendler always puts XRP in the security group. Now things start to get interesting. The twin brother of Gary Gendler is Robert M. Gendler. They look a lot alike and are the same age and was the vice president of Troll Price. Robert is a very important guy there. There is more to Troll Price than meets the eye. It's not just any financial firm. A big investor is putting a lot of money into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and yes, XRP. There's a strange link here. The head of the SEC, Gary Gendler, keeps saying that XRP is a property. However, his twin brother works full time for a trading firm that has a lot of money in XRP and other cryptocurrencies. This difference is interesting and makes me think about how difficult things are in the cryptocurrency world. Investments in the law. Now we'll talk about an exciting choice. Robert Gendler is the vice president of Troll Price. Does he know something about XRP's chances that no one else does? Bitcoin and Ethereum are known to many people. This thought makes sense when you think about how much the company has put into these 3 cryptocurrencies. The SEC says there is no such thing as insider trade in public. There is, though, as many stories and studies have shown. These investigations, which have mostly been about market manipulation and dealing on inside information, have often that the SEC isn't doing the right thing. It looks like a pattern is beginning to take shape. It looks like people who work for the SEC are telling their friends and family about which digital assets might not be stocks in the near future. Then this family spends time early. Once the asset is made public as not being as it goes through the roof, these family and friends got rich by buying low and selling high. It's possible that Robert N. Gendler got inside information from his brother Gary Gendler about how the SEC could lose a case to XRP. From this, it seems like Congress wants Ripple Labs and the SEC to make a deal. People who want to buy XRP should seize this chance right away. Another part to this story is how the troll price has caused more money to flow into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and most importantly, XRP. People who work with cryptocurrencies talk a lot about how XRP could reach elite $10,000, $20,000, or even $60,000. People have been bullish on XRP like Jack the Rippler, think it will go through the roof and even go over 589. This statement is very bold, but it shows how much people are thinking about and interested in XRP and what it could mean for the cryptocurrency market. Wall Street wants a piece of the XRP pie because it makes so much money, and I think the first big move will be an XRP ETF. But let's find out more. CryptoBasic has some interesting news for us about this move that goes deeper than the surface. An expert says that JP Morgan has put a lot of money into XRP, which has the attention of a person who used to be the head of Ripple. I had to raise a question when I heard this, and we need to talk about it. This is how the story goes. Before he left his job at BitBoy, Ben Armstrong said some controversial things about JP Morgan's alleged investment in RP. This made an ex-Ripple director react. Armstrong wrote several posts about this, is a well-known figure in the crypto world. He says that JP Morgan bought 7.5 million XRP tokens, which is a lot. Armstrong now has moves with about 7.5% of all of JP Morgan's money. However, there is no way this math makes sense. 446 million doesn't even come close to 7.5% of JP Morgan's wealth, which is how much 75 million XRP is worth right now. It's not quite right for Armstrong's math to work when you think about how big JP Morgan's assets are, 3.89 trillion as of 2023. The fact that JP Morgan is supposedly stockpiling XRP as part of a plan is still very important to Armstrong. If you ask him, this makes JP Morgan as a rising star in the world of Bitcoin. We've heard that big Wall Street banks like JP Morgan might want to get involved with crypto, especially XRP. The idea that big banks might get involved in crypto is not something to be ignored. Even if the math isn't quite right, it's part of a bigger trend where traditional banks and digital currencies are coming together, and XRP is at the center of some very interesting changes. Armstrong's strong words have also made people aware of Blackrock, which is the biggest name in asset management. He made people angry. Blackrock is now interested in XRP for its investment portfolio now that its iShares Bitcoin ETF has been accepted, the report says. Armstrong's story did not end there. He is also very interested in the case that Ripple is currently in with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. What do you think? Big banks are putting money into XRP even though the case is still going on in court. This shows they believe XRP will have a good future. If this trend of getting together were real, think about what would happen. It would mean that well-known people in finance are betting on XRP even though the rules are always changing. Now here's what's going on. Wall Street was always going to take cryptocurrency.